everybody. Welcome back to 2B2T and Fusion's Adventures. We're here with 615 people online, and we are continuing our journey into the unknown. For the moment, we're following this nice, wide, big trail here. 1.12 trail. We may call in a couple episodes past, we found a couple little small items, like some blocks placed here and blocks placed there, and then we found, of course, the powder farm. It's been a week, and we found a portal. Ha! Oh, that reminds me. Let me get over here. Probably good to turn these on. It's been a week since I started recording, so... Run from the creeper! Can we kill a bunny? Ha! We gotcha! I don't know what I'll do with that, but we have successfully chopped a bunny. Poor thing. Didn't have a hope at all. We still need to repair our items. No, we have not gone to the Nether and done that. We are just hoobalooing along to see what we can find on this episode. Will Fusion find the ultimate prize, the grand palace of treasure and gold, the Alibaba's Cave of Wonders? Yes, a genie in the bottle. Ah, imagine if you had a genie. What would you wish for? That's a really good question. If such things... I should have brought a drink of water, but I didn't. Okay, so this looks like the trail's going to kind of end over there. If such a thing existed, a genie in a bottle, and it was going to grant you 3 wishes, what would you wish for? You got to be really careful. And I guess the question really comes in, how complex can the wishes be? Right? Now, in my... Sorry, while I eat this and cough. You know, I mean, you think about, like, all the shows, movies, books, and all that, you know. I mean, they say, oh, I want to be rich, or I want to be a king, or I want to, you know, things like that. It's always the genie that decides everything, right? The details, the minutia, as they say. But I think I would want to decide. And so I would want to tell the genie, all right, well, there's going to be a really long description with a lot of details here for what I'm going to be asking. So I will end with I wish for. All right? But I'm not going to say that up front until I'm done. Any questions before we begin? You know, and I probably say I'm going to end with I blank for, you know, so I wouldn't even use the word and risk, you know. Oh, okay. I was going to say there's a bed underwater with chests, but no, it's part of a thing. So we can ignore it. Whoever came along here, though, flew this path. Let me see. I think... Alright. Hear me out. This is probably kind of be a little weird, but I think the first thing that I would wish for is a bio-nanobot that can self-manage and replicate itself inside of my body, and its sole job and capability is to keep me healthy and to rejuvenate me and to extend my life to whatever degree is physically actually possible with a body that is repaired, maintained, and whatnot. Now I know some people would say, "Well, why don't you just ask for everlasting life or whatever?" Well, see, this is where you've got to be very specific, because you could wish for that, and then okay, you live forever, but you're in a basic vegetative state, or you're just you keep getting older and older, and more crippled, and you'll stay alive, but you really can't do anything. You end up just laying, and see, this is where, see, I think we need detail in our wishes. So I'm thinking, all right, what about, all right, let's get a nanobot that is complementary to my body. And obviously it would take more than one, but it can self-replicate using like fat resources in my body, stuff like that, and the stuff I consume and the energy that the normal human body has. But it doesn't like self-replicate to infinity, in that it just there becomes more and more and more and more and more and more of them until you're all nanobot and no human. So there's controls, right? That's what I'm saying. But it can do all that, and then it has the capability to keep my eyes repaired, to regenerate my cells, to clear out my arteries, to repair damage, all that stuff, right? And as a result, because it's keeping my body in near perfect condition, which it definitely is not now, but it slowly restores me to that point, to where it's like I'm in the prime of my youth, and it repairs my skin. So it's not that I get younger, but I'm the age I am and whatnot, but it makes me look like, wow, man, that person's in really good shape. They have really good skin. They're well taken care of. They must be eating great, all that stuff, because the bot is doing all of that for me. I think that would be a reasonable and decent wish, right? Fix my eyesight so I can see and I don't have to wear glasses. To where it's at least 20/20, if not, 10/20 or whatever, 5/20 or whatever, it better, because the eyeball is capable of that. Fixes memory, because it maintains the synapses in your cortexes and all of that, and so you can remember and recall stuff easily. It keeps your skin going, your muscle tone. I mean, it doesn't mean that I can just sit around and do nothing. I still have to eat and be active and all that kind of stuff, but it's going to help maintain my health. Helps my immune system when I'm sick. It's not that I can't get sick. It's not that I can't have injuries, so obviously I still have to be careful and whatnot, and I think that's a fair trade-off. But it will definitely assist with all of that and maintaining and getting me through it. And I'll say this, it's not that I can't die, because, someone could shoot me point blank in the head and blow my head off, and I'm done for, and the bot probably can't rebuild that. And I don't think I would want it to. But I think that would be something I would be interested in. And the reason is because I would not mind living 300 or 400 years or longer, just because of the things that you would get to see. I love space. I would love to have been born in a time frame where we were a spacefaring civilization, and I could spend my time traveling, even if it's just space within the solar system, traveling between planets and locations. All of that. I mean, geez, I'd be happy being like a space trucker, just trucking my goods around between the stations and hauling, just because I'm out. I mean, I love, of course, nature, and I love the countryside, mountains, and all that kind of stuff, and the ocean, and you name it. But I could definitely get into that type of a life, right? Um, just being able to live long enough to be able to see and experience that would be great. I mean, technology's come a long ways. I mean, when I was born, cell phones and stuff didn't exist, and internet didn't exist, and AI wasn't a thing, and all these things, and now they're all coming out and have happened and have changed and transformed, the way we have live our lives and what we do. What's going to happen in the next 50 years? Right? What changes? And it's not that I can't experience some of that at my current age and where I'm at here on this planet. Definitely probably can. But I'm going to be old as I experience it. So it's like, okay. I mean, all right, yep. Okay, we're in space, but I'm 80 years old. I can't go. I can't do all that. I mean, that type of stuff, right? So I think the bot, the nanobot, that would be cool. If anybody ever questioned about what in the world's going on, why are you still alive? I mean, you say, well, I stumbled across and built this nanobot, and it seems to be working well. And of course, people would be going, well, why aren't you selling it and making money and all that and stuff? But and maybe I would do that eventually. But anyways, that's one wish. I think that would be an interesting wish within the reasons of technology and everything else. You're gonna blow up, aren't you, creeper? Coming into a nice big biome here. Wonder if I'll find the that one excuse me, wolf type that's in this biome. I forget which one it is. There's a wolf that's only in this biome. The new skin. I had, if you've seen my other series, I'm not sure when the video will come out. It's probably after this, but one of them, the really colorful dog, showed up in my base, and I think it's because I built like a little park area, and I put down podzol and stuff like that, and I think it spawned there, and it's there. It's the mesa biome type wolf, the really colorful one. It looks like a calico cat, Great place to find a random stash. We're out in the middle of nowhere with no paths. Second wish. I've thought about this in the past. What if I asked, or I wished for, a super compact, extremely advanced, come on, skeleton, AI. What? You want an AI? But there were, again, there's rules to my wishes. This is an AI that, for lack of better words, is subservient to me. It's not necessarily completely self-aware or anything like that. It's programmed AI, which is fine. Because if it's self-aware, then I wouldn't want it to be subservient to me, because then that's tantamount to slavery. And, I mean, okay, so what is the AI going to think of that, right? But because if it's self-aware, then it's just like a person in that sense, and that, it doesn't want to be a slave to someone else or anything like that. But if, I'm going to set a bed in this village. We're going to sleep here. Excuse me, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Now we're going to climb your tower. Yep. Check for food. No food. We're going to come up here, and I claim this tower in the name of Fusionia. All right, very good. Thank you, sir. But the reason is I want a companion that can help me reach the things that I want to reach. For example, financial independence. If I'm going to be living, if I've got this bot that's going to help maintain my body and whatnot, I need to be able to provide for myself, right? I need money to live on, for food, housing, clothing, the basics. It's just, you got to have it. No way around it. So, if I had an AI that was able to support me in that manner, meaning it could come up with business solutions, as an example, that would be successful, because that's what the AI can do. It could help guide me in investments. Not that it understands or knows what's going to happen in the investment market, but it can make reasonable deductions and whatnot and say, well, you should invest over here for X amount of time, type of thing and whatnot. So that, I can get, a decent return on my investments. It can help guide me in, technological innovation. I mean, I said I want to go to space. Okay, well, what if this AI is able to come up through the information that it learns and digests, and it's able to guide you, to give you, blueprints to build, a working spaceship so that you could travel the stars. I mean, you name it. Sky's the limit from that perspective. And as a result, of course, I would be able to build my wealth, to support myself and to support those activities that I want to go out and accomplish. Right? I think that would be a good use of a wish, because it's very versatile, in that sense. In that, I can say, okay, well, let's come up with a company that we could start that's going to build this technology, and as a result, the company's going to be successful. We'll be able to employ others, grow that business, and accomplish the goals and dreams that I want to accomplish, and whatnot, and continue supporting myself for my extended time frame. And we can even cover that up so that we don't have issues, by saying, well, we've come up with certain advances. Like, I mean, I wouldn't want to give necessarily the duplicate of the bot that I have to everybody, but I could say, well, I've cured eyesight. I have a device, a procedure. We're gonna put this little thing in your eyes. It's gonna repair them, and you'll have perfect eyesight. But it's not gonna be a replicated bot that's just staying inside the person. It's a one-time thing, and maybe their eyes deteriorate in the future, but they can get it repaired again, right? And it's affordable. It's not like, things are today in the health industry that are outrageously expensive, that could save people's lives. That's the sad thing about the industry. I realize that they can spend billions in research and development to cure disease and to overcome medical problems and stuff, but then and from a business standpoint, it's they somehow have to make that back, you know. But it's really unfortunate that you can have people that are on death's door, and yet there is a way to save them, but it costs millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to do, right? And then, you know, the average person, they can't afford it, and medical insurance won't cover it because they consider it as, you know, experimental or whatever, or, you know, or too expensive or whatnot. And, you know, I think that's just terrible. But capitalism is capitalism, unfortunately. Corporations don't care about that stuff. All they care about is that they get the return on their investment. And to a degree, and I'm sorry, and I'm one of them too, you know, from that standpoint, investors are even worse because we're the ones that drive these corporations to act like that. Because what do we want? Well, we want a return on our investment. And if we're shareholders long term or things like that, then we're always looking for, okay, yep, well, you made this much profit this year. You better make 10% more profit next year because I want a higher return. You know, I mean, that's the way the whole market works from that standpoint. So we drive it ourselves. It's our own fault. Anyways, so that would be the second wish from that standpoint, is to be able to do that. I think even between those two wishes right there, you could be set up very, very well. It's not like you have instant wealth or instant, you know, all kinds of stuff. It's in a way, you know, you're working to earn it. You're working to achieve those goals through those wishes. Now, third wish. Let's think. There's all kinds of things you could wish for, but what really would you wish for? I mean, the adventurer in me, and of course the AI can do this because it's just going to be a long-term plan, but I mean, part of me just says, well, give me the ultimate spaceship that I know everything about and can help repair and maintain, and it has the capability of traveling, of course, locally throughout the solar system in, you know, reasonable amounts of time, and it can travel interstellar in reasonable amounts of time as well, allowing me to travel the stars and visit planets and all of that stuff. If I was to wish for that, that would probably be the most complex wish, because I'd have to sit there and spend a couple hours talking to the genie about how I want this to happen, you know, what I want it to look like. And I'm going to assume that whatever I'm wishing for has to be technologically possible, scientifically possible. We may not have discovered the science, but in the laws of the universe, it has to be something possible, right? So if the laws of the universe says that you can't travel faster than the speed of light, then all right, well, we won't be able to do that. But maybe there's other ways to travel, you know, a portal or whatever that can connect 2 points or whatever. But, you know, whatever the case is, you know, I'd have to think about that and make it happen. You know, the ship has, you know, life support that's able to sustain you. You have the technology and the drones, I guess you could say, to send down to planets, and it can scan the planet and the atmosphere and take samples and tell you if it's safe for a human, or if, maybe it's safe, but hey, don't touch this plant. Don't eat that type of thing because, if you do, it'll kill you or introduce a new disease that's never existed in humans before, or things like that. That is the scary thing. Let's admit it. From a planetary exploration, you see lots of shows on it, and some shows do a decent job, like Stargate did an okay job in some cases, showing that you could go to a planet. Star Trek, not really a good job at it, but it did a little bit. But, you could go to a planet as a human, and yeah, sure, the atmosphere is breathable. That's something that's easy to scan, But, I mean, you got to think about it. Just like on Earth, where there's airborne viruses, there's bugs like mosquitoes that can carry disease, and they bite you because that's not because they're malicious, thinking creatures that are trying to kill you. It's just you're a food source. That's all that matters. There's all types of things, right? Here on Earth. Terrible things. Well, what can we expect on an alien planet, even if it's Earth-like and has, similar trees and similar plants? It's still going to have gone through a completely different evolutionary growth state over the billions of years it's been in existence. And you're going to expose the human body to that. Guaranteed, you're going to be coming across new diseases and bugs and stuff that you wish never existed and would be terrible. So you got to be able to be aware and scan for that stuff and avoid it, and that kind of stuff, and overcome it. Throughout history, when there's been a new virus or a new disease or something like that discovered, it takes time, but we can overcome a lot of those things. And there's still some we're working on, and that's the issue. You usually end up with, depending on the size of the population, quite a few deaths before you figure it out how to prevent it. When you think of all the diseases that we've overcome in the past, like smallpox and syphilis and all these things, and today they're not much of a big deal. You can get the vaccines for them when you're born and whatnot, but at one point they were killing large percentages of the population on a regular basis, and it took a lot of time. Even if we look at the more recent pandemic with COVID, we came up with vaccines that don't cure it. They can just help, and they can help prevent. They can help you get through it, but they're not cures. So how do you handle that on an alien planet, right? You got to have the technological capability to assess, understand, avoid, if possible, prevent is the most important one, and then cure. Because if you can't, well, then everybody's dead that just visited that planet. Or it becomes, okay, yeah, we can visit planets, but you need to wear an environmental suit the entire time you're on the planet, and you're never going to be able to take it off because, well, there's alien components in the atmosphere, and they're going to kill you. Even though the air is breathable, there's contaminants through viruses and contagions and you name it. So yeah, it would take time, but that would be the third. I think the third wish kind of goes along with the first, with the AI I know, but in the nanobots, all my wishes are technological. But I think that would be that's something I would be wishing for, is things like that. What do you think? Good idea? Bad idea? Wish for different things? Does my thought process sound? Does it make sense? All right, well, it looks like we've traveled quite a bit. We're passing, I think we're past the 300K mark now, which is really cool. To the fact that I've traveled mostly on foot, a little bit of elytra, over 300,000 blocks, and I'm still going. This is an old village. It's 1.12 village, so there's no beds. I'm gonna say, why aren't they running? Oh, well, because you're out of munchies. Old-fashioned library. Haha. But no lecterns, so no Silk Touch book or Sharpness 5 or sweeping or anything I could put on a sword, you know. Because my sword is bleh. But we have continued to travel. And all we saw that was player made was one portal. Well, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be collecting a bunch of this, aren't I? To make more rockets. There we go. That's at least 15 or 16 rockets, right? I've got quite a bit of... Ooh. Is that just... Oh, it's just an igloo village. For a moment, I thought we'd found something because I saw blue. And it's just an igloo village up on a hill. That the 1.12 and then later the 1.19 trails traveled through. Interestings. Alright, well, this was the episode of Wishes. Hope you've enjoyed my ramblings and my thinking here. We're continuing, of course, on our journey. Who knows what we will be finding? I'm sure at some point we will find something. How many episodes that's going to take? Great question. I haven't got a clue. We could be doing this for a while. But I'm enjoying it. There's no reason to stop the journey. I'm just out here traveling along, seeing what I can find, you know? And we've found a lot of cool stuff so far. And I'm sure we're going to find some more stuff. It's going to happen. Both player-made and naturally generated. Come on, boat. Yes, kitties? Yeah? Meow, meow, meow. Everybody's running around going meow, meow, meow. It must be playtime. Clean their litter box. They're always happy when I clean the litter box because it's like, woohoo, we go poop in a clean litter box. I mean, I don't blame them at all. You know, I wouldn't want to poop in a dirty toilet, so it's the same concept. Oh, are you chasing Luna, Vexy? Are you in your wild mood? Luna doesn't like it when you chase her. Yeah, you get too rough. Uh-huh. Yeah, you're too rough. Yeah, yes, you are. All right, everybody. We will continue in the next episode our journey into the unknowns. Hopefully, we will find something exciting and spectacular. It's bound to happen, guaranteed. We just got to keep going, and eventually, we're going to just randomly come across something. It takes time, of course, because we are traveling on foot. We're not like flying because we don't have unlimited elytras and all of that. And thank you for those of you in the comments that have, excuse me, offered stuff. If I wanted stuff, I would just fly here with one of my main accounts or my alt and bring myself stuff. So, hey, stop it. Come on. Look what you... Yeah, uh-huh. Meow. Yes. I don't know what you're trying to do, but you're making a big mess. All right. Well, anyways, let me find a place to pause here where we're not going to be blown up and destroyed, and I can get a drink and get some liquids so I'm not like half coughing on the video, and also take care of the kitties here for a second. I can't even kill the sheep in one hit. Not that I need to, but eventually we're going to need more food again, so I'm just looking. I should have paused when I was back there in the water, because now it's like if I'm going to pause, I'm going to have to disconnect because of all the mobs. Yep. The mobs are going to get me, and as a result, we have a 35-minute episode instead of a 30. Hey, look at this. We're going to end in an ender chest. How about that? We found civilization. Can you call it that? All right. I know. But I need a safe spot here. All right. We'll see you in the next episode, everybody. Take care.